As a person who studies conspiracy theories for my own personal edification and amusement, um, occasionally I've come across individuals that apparently don't get the whole idea as to what conspiracy theory is all about, or how to even do conspiracy theories correctly, one of which being Glen Beck. Now, Glen Beck, along with Alex Jones, have come up with a whole slew of reasons as to why the Boston bombing or the Patriot Day bombing seems to be a false flag operation. That essentially the government is behind the bombings in Boston, and that, for whatever reason, they're trying to blame Obama for it. Now, while I can understand the reasoning behind it to some degree. The problem is that now Glenn Beck has decided to say, well, it is up to the federal government to prove my theory false. No. It is up to you, Mr. Beck, to prove your theory correct. You see, the thing is, if you're going to start off with conspiracy theory, and if you're going to talk about whether or not the government was responsible for what happened in Boston, it is up to you to provide proof, or at least some place where people can go and take a look at, some evidence. It is up to you to provide links. It is up to you to provide pictures. It is up for you to provide access to information where, at least we could validate what it is that you're trying to say. And if your information comes across as flat, you haven't proved your point. Now, if you want to make a case that the federal government has committed a crime in Boston, you need to provide facts. Sorry. Even if it's even if it's evidence that has a wide openness to interpretation, you still need to provide that evidence. Coming up with a theory and then demanding that the government prove you wrong is not conspiracy theory. It is make-believe. Provide evidence. Provide links. Provide information that people can look at. This way, if you really have merit to your ideology, if you really have merit to your conspiracy theory, it'll show itself. Now, I don't necessarily believe that the Obama administration orchestrated a false flag operation. It's possible. It's entirely possible because during the Boston bombing and during the manhunt and while everybody's eyes were on Boston, the House of Representatives passed an act called CISPA, which basically allows the federal government to look in on your personal internet files and determine whether or not you are a terrorist, which is a very big violation of personal privacy, especially if a lot of the files that you have are private, of a personal nature. Now, this particular bill, hopefully, but I'm not expecting it to, but I'm not holding out any hope, is expected to, it might not pass Congress, and it might not go to the president, or if it does go to the president has vowed left and right that he will not sign the bill, CISPA. But given Obama's predilection to grab his ankles every time the Republicans cough, we'll see what happens. But to outright say that the Obama administration has benefited from the Boston bombing, that's a bit of a stretch, because you then have to detail which companies that Obama has ties to benefited from it. You see, establishing the 9/11 connection is a lot easier because you can see where Bush's connections have benefited from what happened on 9/11 and the subsequent war on terror. Halliburton, various other companies, they've all had to benefit from the 9/11 conspiracy. Whereas in this case, the only benefit that I could possibly see is CISPA passing without anybody noticing. And I don't necessarily believe that Obama is so stupid that it wouldn't profit him really to engage in this bombing unless there was something else coming down the pipe. But that's just a theory. And it's up to me to prove that theory right or prove that theory wrong. Or at least to say, well, I'm not sure, this is what I believe. But it's not up to Obama to prove me wrong. It's up to me to prove myself right. The person who makes the most spectacular claim has to provide spectacular evidence. This is Dumac the Artist, signing off. Slanchini Falcha. Have a nice day.